Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Hey, y'all, how you doing today? You having a good day? Is the sun shining in your part of the world, or is the moon in your eye like a giant pizza pie? Hey, guys, how's it going? Today we are back, yes, in Satisfactory 1.1 experimental. Soon to be able to move back into the normal one, because apparently we get our release date in the next little while. Don't remember the exact date's coming, but it is coming in June. Oh, gotta get some of that sweet coffee there. Hey, yeah, we are back. We're back now, overlooking where we were working in last week. So this is our terrain stations that we're using to gather our multiple elements. And yeah, I got a little tower here. Let me get rid of this, come out of photo mode, and let's just get rid of this temporary tower here. I'm falling! And yeah, so we got our quartz ready to go. We've got our Caterium shooting in from over there, getting picked up. We're gonna still have to set up our trains and stuff, and of course we are getting our copper. We have our little copper road here. So that's what we were doing last week. What are we doing this week? We're gonna do something with all of this nonsense. So let's just kind of get right into it. What the plan is, what it is that we're gonna do. Fixing corners that just don't look right. Oh, I don't like this. Nope. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff that we're now getting into shipping room. Sorry, just distracted here because I really don't like having that just doesn't look right. We got to clean this corner up here a little bit. So we're just gonna kind of try and stretch a beam all the way to there. We can go right there. Okay, that'll be big enough. So yeah, in case any of you guys don't know the little trick here, you can strand a beam if it's not long enough, as long as you're looking at the location. In freeform mode, the beam will still arrive where you expect it. And you can see here, no, I didn't aim correctly, so we're just gonna try that again. Yeah, so we need to start. That's a 2 meter to a 1 meter. Aha! I found the problem. Doing literally talking about two things at the same time here. Isn't that helpful for you folks? Yes, okay, so let's just focus on this. I don't like having these corners here, so I just want to quickly take care of this, and you can do that by grabbing yourself a beam. The good old beam here. I'm in freeform mode, so I click on that corner right there and just look right into the center point. I come over to here. I look at that center point. The beam will not reach, but you can see it is trying to, so it is pointing in the right direction. I can then drop that into place. From here, we can now sample our foundation, grab it there, use our nudgy nudge, and we can move it into the corner. And you can see it's at the right height. Didn't quite reach all the way, so what we can do here is just kind of do half nudges. Yeah, that'll work. It worked, you know, obviously it'll work better if it can get the whole way in here, but I just want to get a little bit. I should be zooming here. There we go. Again, we come to the back end here. I'm just going to click and hold. Nudgy, nudge, nudge, and you should see that corner lines up nicely. It's because the beam made it all the way. And that takes care of that. We can get rid of our guide beam here, and we can just fill in the rest of the foundations. We can fill in the rest of our foundations. There we go. That way we don't have as much Z fighting. Yeah, they really still, the Z fighting is still kind of a thing here. Not much we can do about it. I almost think I want to redo these here, so I'm going to take these guys out. Maybe this will work a little cleaner. Wow, not even a minute in and I'm completely distracted. That is probably a new record for me. Okay, maybe more than a minute, like 5 minutes in, but we'll put that there. Then we can grab this and do this whole shtick again. Yeah, you can see that one doesn't quite fit, but you know what? It's close enough. And then I'm going to come over to this one here. And I could nudge it to there. I did start the corner in the wrong place. I should have started it. Yeah. It's gonna be one of these days, isn't it, folks? It is gonna be one of these days. So we'll start here. Actually, I got a better idea for doing this to make sure that everybody is happy with their corners here. I am going to look at this one to get the angle, but then I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to go all the way down to here. And we're going to try and get into that corner. So we have beams starting from either end. This guy gets to start into this corner because that'll give me a nice clean corner here. And we'll just do like a little, there we go. Then I can come all down to this end here. Should have a nice clean corner. Look at that, it's perfect. And we just have to get rid of our two beams. And we can now get these guys to stretch. Reach for each other. And plug the hole. There we go. Whoop, got another hole here. Let's use just a half one here. And like that. All right, there we go. So that's much cleaner. Looks a little tidier. Looks a little neater. Still a massive OSHA violation. I need to get some barricades and stuff. Yeah, so what we need to do is, now that we got all this, we need to start doing something with it. I have a plan. So let's have a quick boo at said plan here. So that should be that button there. There we go. So there you can see our the Satisfactory modeler. Again, it is available up on Steam here, or Epic. I think I'm using it on Steam, and it works fine either way. Doesn't matter. My game is on Epic. So, but yeah, because I've been playing it since version 0.01 or 0.1, I should say. So the earliest early access version, I think it was 1.1 when I joined up. Way back in the day, it was only available on the Epic Store. So I am playing it on the Epic Store. I wasn't going to buy a second copy for Steam, but the Satisfactory model is free on Steam. And I'm kind of getting used to it. But this, you can see, is what is going to be the plan. Is we are going to start producing some supercomputers. That should be more than enough for my future needs. Again, I like to beg.
Let me try this in a language that you Earthlings can understand.
I don't ever build big factories. I like to build just enough. You know, keep it tight, keep it clean. There's no sense to make, 4,500 frickin' supercomputers if all you're going to end up doing is syncing it. Syncing the couple here, a couple there per minute is fine once certain areas get saturated. But for the most part, really don't need a lot of supercomputers. It's a very specialized item, so I'm going to be making 3.75. In other words, 2 manufacturers worth of supercomputers. That is in our immediate future. The other thing that's going to be in our immediate future, of course, is our radio control units. Again, I don't need a whole lot of them. I need just enough. So we're going to be setting up 3 manufacturers of those guys. And then we're going to need eventually soon electromagnetic control rods, because that is going to be a component. I actually don't have the recipe for these yet, I don't think. We'll check the game momentarily, but that is coming in our future. So that's our third thing. And then, of course, why I need those electromagnetic control rods is because we're going to start getting some of our space elevator stuff. And you can see I started working on some of the plans for those. And that's one of the ones where we need supercomputers. So we can just connect those in there. And like I say, with the electromagnetic control rods, we can connect those in there. But I think I don't remember actually now that I kind of did some stuff off camera. We'll go review what that is. I'm pretty sure I need these to unlock these. So we're going to focus in pretty much on these 2 production lines here. And if we have a look at what they need, coincidentally, we need iron, or copper, quite a bit of it actually, which is not a problem because we have our copper nice and available for us where we're standing. We're going to need Caterium. Wonder where I can get that from. We're going to need some more copper. We're going to need some quartz. Hey, look at that. We're going to need a little bit of iron. We're going to have to use some steel ingots, but then we're back to the quartz and we're back to the copper. So yeah, we pretty much needed to get a lot of this stuff ready to go. And of course, that we're in our factory. Let me bring our game back to us. Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure we tap. So we are tapping 3 quartz nodes here. If we take a look at our little map here and go join ourselves, you can see we've got 3 quartz nodes that we can get into. They're only running normal for the most part, but we do have a claimed pure one. We are still only in Mark II miners with certain speed boosts. Of course, we got a good, there's a SAM ore there. We do have our Caterium all down in here, so we are pumping 2 right now. We got a third one that we can start moving in. And of course, we have our 3 copper nodes, all with really good priority here. Hey, there goes one of our nice little tractors there. So we've got really good supply of that. We do have some iron over there, but you know what? Iron is in such an abundance here. For shits and giggles, I could just start shipping it, basically pull one of these stations out, combine the, what is this one loading? This one's loading the Caterium in here. So I could combine the Caterium and the iron to ship out, but for now, we're just gonna leave it for here. We'll leave those in place for if we need it. But let's go look at what I've kind of got set up and where we're gonna start building some stuff here. So we'll take a nice little trip in our hypertubes, and while that's traveling here, we pop back into the modeler. All right, so in the modeler here, basically you can see here I've got them identified as start to finish. Resources come out or come in, supercomputers go out, resources come in, supercomputers come out, or radio control units. And I think that's the way I'm going to be building the next section here, is that I want to keep these guys as independent runs. And I've got a bit of an idea. I want to play with these guys here is with the elevator. So one of the things that can always be a bit of a challenge, especially if you're going to be building vertically. So I want to keep building vertically. I want to make some more high-rise kind of settings here, is moving from floor to floor, getting up to the floor. You either have to have lifts going up into the ceiling so it can get to the floor above, or it's just, aesthetically it's hard. It's a little bit more difficult to keep clean. You could use false fault walls. So basically you have 2 walls, a single foundation space that you could pass your stuff up. One of the things that I've done in previous builds, and one of the things that probably would work well here, is that we have the elevator. we have the personal lift. With a personal lift, we can build a kind of almost more traditional building with a central elevator column. In that central elevator column, we can give ourselves a little bit extra space where we can start moving things up. So if I have all my ore processing on the bottom, on the first floor, and I want to start the next level, so you can see here, what do I need? I need 15 of these. That's, you know, probably a couple of floors to get 15 of these in. It'd be nice if I had something that I can easily move up between the floors, and having like a central shaft is able to do that. So I'm either thinking, and I haven't quite decided yet, either these are going to be separate buildings, or I'm thinking of combining these guys into one building with sharing a central elevator shaft, and up to a central landing. And maybe even including these guys. Basically, I could almost want to do like a cross, like a plus sign, with each of the kind of arms of the plus sign being a factory. And then in the middle, we have our central kind of logistics shaft with the elevator personal lift inside, which could look kind of cool, you know, with the fact is that the elevator has all the glass walls and stuff, so you can see all your kind of lifts and conveyors and the stuff's moving and grooving all underneath. Or I could build them as independent buildings because, you know, they're not all don't need the same amount of floor space. Some need more than others. So yeah, I'm not sure which way I want to do that yet. I am going to have to obviously design very, very soon because yeah, that's where we're headed. All right, let's get back into our world here. So let's just click the old little button there. There we are. We're back in the world here. And look at where I'm standing. I'm standing in a different little room here. And there's my hypertubes with a sign saying go east, young men, or go west, young man. So yeah, one of the things I did is I wanted, gosh darn it, is I wanted to clean up kind of my hypertube launchers here. So I've built my little hypertube shed. That's pretty much covers the way I've got things already. Going off to the east ways here, heading off in that direction. So that's, you know, east, southeast. That kind of covers that corner of my world. So that covers those areas. This guy goes off either that way, or we have this splitter that goes off that way. So, you know, hypertube network here, really coming into the base, only needed the two of them there. I could honestly combine them into a single one, but those junctions can be a little bit, I haven't gotten fully used to working with them yet, so I'm just going to keep them as separate tubes. You know what? That floor hole's been there for a while. I don't really need it. Stop hitting that. Oh, actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go into my notepad here. So I've got my notepad, which has got the code, which you can find in the description of the video. And with this little command here, which I'm going to copy, and then the reason I remind it is because I'm going to go into the console here. You can paste this command in here. What that will do is it will fix, oh, pardon me. It will fix up the kind of final gathering or rate or light gather, whatever, you know. It make light look prettier. It actually makes lights work. So if we come down here, you can see that we're getting all kinds of nice fall off lighting from just these panels here, as opposed to just very dark little pools. It's just the way the final gather or the light gathering or the global illumination currently works. My brain is not working. It's Saturday morning. Some words are becoming harder. I'm getting too freaking old. Alrighty, let's head back over. So let's go take a look at the new job site here. So we're just going to run into the hypertube building right in through here. I probably should have put some signage up here, but right now we're just going to pop into here. Going to get ready to hit the old E button because I want to shift into the right-hand lane. There you go. You can see I hit the right-hand lane. So one of the things I'm finding with those little junctions there is it's always a left turn by default. You hop into it, it's going to be a left turn. When I get to the other end and I come back this way, it's going to want to put me in the left turn. So always expect a left turn unless you hit E Why does my frame rate look bad? Unless you hit E, at which point it will switch it to the right-hand side. You hit E again, it'll put it back to the left, so E is only a toggle. I would prefer left and right arrows, kind of like when you're driving a train on the track and you're coming into a switch, that you just kind of spam the arrow that you want to go. So yeah, let's take a little quick detour here. We're now at the iron ingot, or steel ingot facility here. So this is going to play into the new factory. We are going to need some steel ingots, but if we have a look here, you can see that yeah, train just recently left, but I've got lots of surplus on steel ingots here, so we can keep tapping into these for a little while, and moving them and getting them to where they need to be. Let's head back to our exchange roundabout, and we're gonna head this way. So all this is new track that I recently laid out. So we basically are heading into the, like I say, the western desert. I talked about that last week, just because it's kind of got lots of nice space here. It looks hilly, it looks bumpy, but really the actual level is pretty consistent across the board here. So let me get at some altitude here. So even though all these little hills and these little kind of rock piles and stuff like that, I kind of got it at a height, more or less, that foundations should allow me to cover whatever amount of the area I need here. So I've got a nice, not necessarily flat space, but I've got a nice wide open space. More importantly, kind of conveniently, what I've also got, where did they go? Is 3 iron nodes sitting right there. So yeah, I got 3 iron nodes. They're normal iron nodes, but they will get the job done. So that gives me all the resources that I'm going to need. In fact is, I mean, honestly, I don't need that as much iron for the new production. Let's see, I need 84 there. That's copper. Yeah, it's pretty much copper and Caterium that I'm after. Sorry, just looking in the old modeler here again. And I'm seeing, just going to rebalance the numbers a little bit here. So just to show you how it works here. So we're going to pop back into the modeler. There we go. So back in here. So you can see I've got copper plate or sheet here. What I'm going to do here is going to right click here. That's going to clear these connections. So these 2 nodes here, I don't need. What I am going to do is I'm going to drag a line from that guy there all the way up to here. So what that's going to do now is update how many actual sheets that I need. So this is all just to make the supercomputers. So you can see I got the recipe there. So we're going to be using the Caterium computer. I'm going to need a station to, of course, bring in rubber. So we are going to have to put in some stations here. We need 1 station with 3 kind of freight for our copper, for our Caterium, and for our quartz. We are going to need a station to bring our rubber in. So we are going to need rubber. If we look further into these guys here, I believe we're also going to need to bring some rubber in. So you can see we need rubber here as well. For the copper or the circuit boards, I do have a blueprint for the circuit boards, which produces 32.5 per minute. What else do I need down here? I thought I needed aluminum casing. Yes, there we go. So I also need the aluminum casing, so I'm going to need a station for that. There's the plastic, so I'm going to need plastic. So I am going to need to set up 4 stations down here. Like I say, I got the iron covered. I also need to bring in the steel. So that's 5 stations that need to drop off. I could go rework some stations, but you know, reworking it for one use kind of messes up for others. So they're just going to have to be a whole bunch of stations. But again, I've got a ton of space. Let's get ourselves back into the game here. So I've given myself lots and lots of room here, so we can have our stations wherever the heck we want, and we can start building up. Hey, look, it is the Aurora. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Got to sneeze. So yeah, we're gonna just basically need to start getting things into place here. So stations, with the iron there, that's kind of puts all the resources. If I build the stations kind of in this space here, that gives me some decent, yeah, so that has the iron there. So build the stations there, and then we can kind of start spreading off in that way. So let's do that. Let's get to start here. So we'll grab ourselves the 1 meter foundation. I think I'm going to switch her up to the, how big are you? Are 2? No, you're 3 currently because you got a little bit of a support there. That's fine. So we're going to grab some 2 meter. We'll go out by 10 just to start off with here. While I'm down here, I might as well try to keep this cleaned up a little bit. So we'll kind of get some support. Let's turn our flashlight on so we can come in here with our ramp. There we go. Now, again, the question is, do I want to use 2 meter or do I want to use 1 meter? This is going to be the ground floor. Well, you know what? Let's just put the 2 meter in. It is where the stations are going to be. Which way do we want our stations to go? So when our trains come in, let's just make sure we have some track placements for them. All right, so trains are going to come in to, let's say, right here. Again, really like how they got the track laying system finally set up here. So easy to use. So we come in like that, and that means he's going to want to join right about here. So I'll right click, that'll give me the snap to wherever I need it to be. Click in and connect the track. So yeah, we can have our tracks running right here. So the train is going to head into the kind of shipping receiving area, like so. And like I say, we can grab our bit of track here. That should be good. And then, whoop, that's, nope, not quite. This is going to be a little bit trickier. What is the sharpest corner I can make? So I can only snap here. How far where do you want to be? Yeah, see, that's pretty tight. What about if I come this way? Where is, yeah, see, that wants to join there, and I don't really want it to. Can I move? Yeah, okay, so yeah, a little fun with tracks here. So we're going to get rid of these guys here. Now, the problem is there has to be a certain amount of distance between things. I can have 4 tracks going into a single kind of switch area there. It's not something I'm used to. So I'm going to try to avoid it a little bit here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rebuild that section of track. I'm going to find out where you can happily reside. So probably right, like, let's see if we can make this corner here. Turn you around, come around over to here. Yeah, okay, so you're going to connect there. Can I then, and you see how it pops from here to there. There we go. All right, so there we got our switches set up here. Of course, we are going to need to make sure we have some signaling going on. So we're going to need a block signal right there. Do I want to put block signal there? Block signal there. Just out of habit, I like to have block signals joining up. There we go. Now I should be putting a path signal right there. It's not happy with that path signal. So because I have to separate this line and this line, so what I need to do is put a block signal right there. That makes the path signal happy. So basically what the path signal does is the train comes in and says, okay, I want to go left. Do I have a clear route? If there's a train sitting right here If I want to go that way, well, yes, I do, as long as the train's on the other side of that block signal there. If it's just a block signal, if there's a train kind of hanging its ass right here, and the other one wants to go through there, even though it could go through there, it won't, because that area is locked up. So it just makes sure that things go smoother. However, I don't really have anything else that's going on down there. I don't imagine, at least for the any kind of near term future, that I'm going to have trains that need to go off that way that are coming from up there. I will have trains starting over there, because there is a bunch of oil and stuff that I want to draw on at some point in time. So I'll have tracks coming in, but for now, I don't think I'm going to use the pass signal here, because that just starts making a lot of this just really kind of overly crowded. This block signal, and these block signals, yeah, we can keep this little kind of white area here isolated. In fact, what I'm going to do here is grab that block signal. Now you can see how all of this is pink. We don't want all of that to be pink. Now we have a pink section, which is that section right there. I do have a pass signal there because, you know, it's spacing, it's open enough there. It just, with the pass signal putting in, you can see that I need a lot more of the signals, and I'd rather just keep it clear, so that way the trains are coming in. All right, so the train's gonna come into here. Where do we want to start depositing things? Where do I want to start stretching out my stations? So it's whether a question we hang a left at this point and carry on down, and then we can bring our trains back in through here, or do we have the return line going that way? Now, see, you have to think about the pathing, right? So if I have this track stretching out down to there, like so, and then, you know, these guys come in, and then we start, like, you know, turning off. So, you know, imagine there's a station here. That means I kind of have to guesstimate how much space I leave for the return stations coming in. So if this is pulling into a station here, or if it goes a little bit further down, so we come down to here, we put a, you know, we'll have another turn off for state. This is not to the proper locations. I would have to obviously do some better measurement, but you can I can keep having all of my stations turning off. The problem is the return line. It's hard to judge exactly where that return line needs to be, because each station is going to push that kind of loop around. So what the train would have to do is go through that way, exit turning this direction, and then come back in here. Now that just becomes a little bit more complicated. However, if I put the stations going in the other direction, so we have our stations on this side here, which means this here, and we'll give ourselves a little bit of foundation there. That means this line is going to curve in like so. So our trains will be coming in from this side. They'll rejoin up. Then these guys at some point will then stretch forward a little bit here. So, you know, he would come to here, and then we'd have our second one and third. So we would, you know, break off into a station going this way and a station going this way. I could just keep adding stations until the cows come home without having to worry about rejiggering the exit line, because each station will then flow the traffic in through there and off it goes. That's easier train-wise. The difference in terrain-wise is nice, kind of big open area. Not really going to have to worry about too much here. Whereas this, I'm kind of starting to get into one of those elevation heights. Sorry, going to sneeze again. Nothing like the Saturday morning sneezies. And it might start kind of getting a little bit harder to go into the iron there. So let's do a quick feed line out here. Let's see if we make sure we have clearance. So it's always that balancing game that you have to do when it comes to. So you can see how that is just way too close to those nodes. So that kind of means that I almost have a platform cutoff to like right there. Or, yeah, I have to basically leave this space open regardless. What I can do, yes, I don't like having tracks crossing weird. What I can do here, yeah, so I don't think that's going to be enough room for 5 station, but what I can do here, let me just get enough of these guys in place here, is, you know what, I don't even need this to be right here. Ooh, is I can say this roundabout here is not going to have a line going in that direction. I mean, it's pointless to have anything going that way anyway because we run into some pretty gnarly terrain. We can split off going off that direction, or we could even use this 45 here to go that way. Ooh, that's, yeah, that works. In the meantime, instead with this guy, so my return line here, what we do is we get some foundations back into this fun stuff here, is that I can literally just have this line come in anywhere along here and wrap. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. The return line doesn't have to come in here to make a nice, you know, roundabout kind of entry and whatnot. I can literally have that return line join any place in this circle as long as I'm leaving myself room for the other line, which is basically right here. So I'm gonna grab a signal. So if I put and hit R to flip to the other side, I figured that out the other day. Okay, so if I go right here, that is now gonna be the exit line. All of the rest of this can now be my feed line. So anywhere along this line, and again, I'm just kind of I like to get rid of the track here. The track splining works so much nicer now. Just give it a little flip there. I get a nice long corner there. It's really giving me a nice clean curve, which I can then divide into any place that I want. All right. And what that also means is that I can basically make this turn like right away. I mean, for that fact, yeah, I could do pretty much. Yeah, so it gives me a lot more kind of, there we go. It gives me a lot more options of where I can start putting my stations, because I can start bringing the stations right away. Like I can have my first station going off there, and I can have multiple lines coming off. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. All bets are off here, folks. So why don't I do this? Why don't I fill this in here? We can have one group of station. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we go like that. Then we can go straight ahead. Just to kind of put it in place. Then we can come over this way. Like that. Now, like I said, I said earlier, I don't like having multiple kind of weird tracks coming in, but the palm tree kind of breakout like this, the switches work fine. There's no going to be any kind of conflict or anything like that. So then I can have my first station kind of going that way. I can have another station going that way, and then I can just keep expanding the stations going that way until I run into the iron, at which point it is all moot and everything is good. So we can curve this guy in. Now, Yeah, see, I do want to curve it in. I do want to make sure I have that turn there. I can do this little split maybe a little bit earlier. So yeah, let's do that. So let's see, what's the closest I can come to? Well, let's 2 foundations is kind of your limit for your short, or at least it's a good measuring. So that would be coming out to halfway here. That might be a little close. No, I kind of think. Okay, I got the space. Why am I worrying about it? Just build the damn thing. So we'll come out to here. And as tight a curve as we can get, which is, yep, looks like it's going to be the 3x3. So we'll come to here. We'll just go ahead a few, just to kind of give a directionality. And then one of our stations can be right here. So let's get one station in to kind of mark the area. And I'm going to use this kind of curve line here because it gives me the kind of area of limitation of where the tracks can be, because I want my stations to be pretty and evenly spaced, and I will get rid of all the little palm trees and everything that are sticking up. We will be generous with our explosive materials, but I want to get these filled in like that, and then we can bring all of that over there. So lots of concrete. But how is our concrete doing? Yeah, we're feeding pretty good. Like that. Here we go. Okay, so that can be our first set of platforms. There we go. All right, so let's grab ourselves a station. And we'll put the train station in. Now, which way is the station going to go? It's going to go that way. Now, it's really a little bit annoying that you can only start with a station. And now, because I'm starting on the back side of the station, I can't put any of these other guys down. I do have to put a temporary station in. So we'll put a station here. I need one station that has 3. But that's all fine, because I'm only trying, what I'm trying to decide here is my spacing between the stations. I hate it when my mute button doesn't come off. I hit my mute button to sneeze. I hit it again. It didn't turn off. You guys have been listening to silence. I swear to God, the easier they make the technology to work with, the harder I find it to work with. Anyway, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get a return line for these guys here. And I think... So, if I go over here, like so, grab some track. You'd think the big red light on the microphone would be a clue that, hey, dumbass, you haven't unmuted yet. But you know what? That's the beauty of live radio. Yeah, I know. It's not live radio, it's streaming on YouTube, but, you know, it sounds better when I say it, you know, live audio or live radio. All right. Can I make this corner here? Let's flip the track around. Can that go around the corner? Of course it can't. So we will cheat. There we go. So you can join them up like that. I'm not sure how well it works because I can't go one way, but you can go the other. It might be a little bit janky. But you know what? If I embrace it... Ooh... You temptuous. Yeah, running track is always kind of the more... esoterical and kind of a little bit more challenging activities just because, you know, getting it all to work well. But I think that should be okay. So trains will exit off there. They can go off to whatever station they want. They'll all come around the backside here, join up to this track, which will actually not be this little straight section here. What it very likely will be, go out by 3 and then run that down like that. Run that down like that. See, this is how you know it's really live video, guys. 1, I leave my microphone muted for 5 minutes. And 2, I came into this episode with a general idea of what I wanted to do. Build a bunch of stuff here. But you can see how many times I'm kind of trying and doing different things here. Yeah, I'm making it up as I go along. I really have no actual plan beyond getting this stuff in. In fact, I even have enough room here to squeeze another station in, don't I? Or do I? Let's see here. If I bring you over to where you should be, which is right there, it's not quite enough to get this station in because of the where I've turned here, but who says I can't turn a little later? So we'll bring this out. Grab our track here. And we'll try to make the corner here. So if I put a straight bit of track right here, right now, well, ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles. Yeah, that was the worst impression. Because then that can go there. And these, look at that little sneaky sneak. We can bring this guy over to here. And let's say, because he's definitely going to be the last in this particular lineage. And if I bring my track to there, can you tuck around? No, you don't want to tuck through here. Where do you want to tuck through? So if I come out to here, the trains should clear each other, but we can maybe tighten it up a little bit more to there, and then that track can go. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna touch just a touch, irregardless. Oh, I don't believe I just said irregardless. We're gonna touch regardless. English speakers, there is no such word as irregardless. It is regardless. No exception. And just because, where do you want to be straight? You want to kind of come out to here. So we'll just push you back a little bit more. There we go. End of the line. End of the line. Now, that looks pretty good. Is there a problem with it? There sure is, that I'm just noticing. As neat and tidy as this looks, never make that corner. That track cannot be that close to the station. That's gonna have to go there. So, well, you know what? We can just tidy this all up. Okay, that's fine. It seems like a waste of space to have the big gap in there, but you know what? Maybe we put like staircases, or maybe that's where we bring the elevator that'll go up to the ground floor. So this is going to be, the stations here are going to be kind of the basement of the kind of complex. So everything will be built above their heads. So this is about the tightest corner I can make. It's a 3x3x3. Or a 6. So a 90 requires 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's a 9x9 grid. So the tightest 180 you can do is a 3x6. So it is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, so 6 and 3. Yeah, that kind of just leaves me a little bit of utility space there. So we'll come down to here. And again, we can see that that third point will be right here. Bring you around to here. And to there. All right. This is not the corner that's going to stay into place because I have to put more station spacing in. But that is going to be now the exit line. The exit line is going to go up to the roundabout, and it can either go that way, it can go around that way, it can go off that way, or hell, it can come right back in if it wants. Trains coming from wherever will take this line coming off. If they're going to either of these two here, can I clean you up? Yeah, I don't like that little weird jog there, so I'm going to just do a little correction. Yeah, so anyone who wants to go to these two stations here can go to these two stations. How would it look if I did this? It will look like it doesn't want to do it. That's how it'll look. So again, we'll just bring this to there. Why did you turn my jetpack off? So yeah, it can either go into that station, it can go into that station, it can go into that station, it can go into that station, and pretty much, I think I said I only need the 5 stations. Let me do a quick look at the modeler without switching you guys to it, sorry. I need copper 1, deuterium 2, quartz 3, iron is local. I need steel, which is 4. I need rubber, which is 5, and I need plastic, which is 6. But the rubber and the plastic will come together. So that's the actual freight platforms. How many stations is that? Well, copper, quartz, and deuterium are coming into 1, so that's 1 for those 3. I actually don't need that many. I don't know what I'm going to need in the future, so I'm going to need, I need 1 for the copper, quartz, and deuterium. I need 1 for the steel ingots, so that's 2. So to start off with, I need 4, because then I need, no, 3. I only need 3 because the rubber and the plastic are coming in on 1, And the iron is local. Okay, so I only actually need 3 stations. You're Mr. Future Proof. All right, so if I only need 3 stations, it's a matter of now just who gets to be whom. Let's keep getting some concrete in. I should really go get rid of these trees soon. I've got a pocket full of explosives, and I know what to do with them. I'm not going to go any further because you can see there my power indicator is showing me that, hey, buddy, you're about to fall. Let's get some more foundation here. You know, I remember when Zoop came in and was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And all I can think right at this exact moment is, why only 10? Can we not go further with our Zoops? There we go. Okay, so... and I have confirmed I came off mute after that sneeze. Okay, so yeah, there is going to be the 3 stations. Does it really matter? I need to go 3 dip. So let's just get this train ready to set up here. So we're going to grab a station here. We're going to go into freight platforms. And we'll snap you right there. So that's 1, 2. Now that I've got those down, I can get rid of that and put in number 3 right. Nope. No. You don't turn around on me. I hate it when they... okay, why do you guys... This is a new thing that's a little bit irritating, is that it automatically flips your stations. So you can see, yeah, it keeps trying to flip my stations around. Don't do that. I don't want you doing that. I am going to go like this, though, so I'm going to need to put in... I do need a station here. Make sure the arrow is pointing in the right direction. So there's 2 ways you can tell about directionality. There's an actual arrow there, but if you look at the top, you can see one end edge, or the back side here is straight. This one has this kind of little D shape, so it looks like a D. The bendy part of the D is what faces the out, so that is how you can tell there. All right, so there we go. That's going to be the station, and this is... what are we going to call this? I guess we call this the Western Desert. So we're going to go... it's no longer Amsterdam. It is Western Desert. It is the copper, quartz, yttrium, receiving. Can I fit it all in? I can! Not exactly, you know, inspirational names, but they are very descriptive. I know exactly what's going. I've used all kinds of naming conventions: Alpha, Bravo, Bob, Steve, you know. This is the one I find works the best because it allows me, just like the name of the train will literally be hauler of that same name. All right, so that's going to bring those 3 guys in, and we need to bring some tracks out of here now. So we'll go grab a quick sample of the track, and it looks like I did make enough foundation because we can come out by the 3. That went wrong. Let's try that again. Didn't want it to start turning. Yeah, you can go a little bit tighter. Oh, you look at that. I can actually go down to 2.5. But do I actually want to do the 2.5? It upsets my sense of keeping everything neat and tidy, because that means I can come in by 1 more. Do I want to do it this way? Like, when you push the track splines right up against the limit, it can get a little bit trickier. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go it that way. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it that tight. So we need to run this guy down all the way down to... in fact, I'm gonna come... yeah, see... oh... Yeah, see, it just makes things, lining things up, but just a little bit more difficult here. Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do a thing. So let's just put it back to where it should be, which is edge of the foundation there. Oh, 3 by 3. No turny. Keep it straight. And just rotate the mouse button. So that one goes to there. Again, we go count down by 3. We'll do the corner here. And there we go. We come all the way down to here. So you're coming in here. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Round the corner. I like bringing my corners into straight sections because it just makes sure that there's no weird extra little tiny angle or anything in there. There we go. So that brings that in there. Yeah, I know. Yes, Detonator, we are going to be having some fun soon, just not quite yet. All right, so that is a complete line. This signal is obviously in the wrong place. And the thing is, if I do need more stations, not ideal, but I can kind of turn off in this direction here as well. Like I say, it's not ideal, but it is doable. So you can see I can even kind of splice off there, and we can have kind of more stations, and then the track's going, yeah, you know what, we'll see. I'll leave this area more or less open for trains. I may build above it with buildings, but for now, I think I'm going to leave them down there. Okay, so that station is ready to go. It just does need some signaling. So we'll grab a block signal. So yeah, we can't have all these guys on one signal. This does definitely needs to be a path signal. So we'll drop a path signal in there. Block signal there. Block signal there. And I'll put another block signal right about there. None of these are going to work. If I change you to a path signal and flip back to that side, that doesn't quite make you happy. That's because, again, I need to do some more blockage. Let's see, we'll put a block signal there. Gonna need a block signal here. Oh, why? There we go. And we'll put a block signal on the station exit. Or in fact, we'll put one right there. Yeah, you're not really splitting, are you? Yeah, it's not liking all the dead ends here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to carry on with block signals. Please don't stick in that frickin' pattern. Please come back. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it coming to normal. So maybe some of these stupid little texturing bugs are cleaned up. There we go. So that immediately cleans up. Yeah, we're going to keep these guys as block signals. I don't think the traffic is... If I'm starting to find that traffic's backing up, I will adjust it. But for now... Which way are you headed? Why are you pointing in that direction? You're gonna come that way. Oh, I see. There is, that's right, because you can have it on either side of the track now. So there is an absolute left and right. Oh, that's what the problem with the pass signal was. Oh, see, this is kind of a new setup here. Right, because you can put the signal on either side of the track. You got to look at that little green arrow there. Oh, that's right. So that goes like that. Then I can put in the path. That's how the paths will then function. And don't get, yeah, see, it's when you do the replacement. That seems to be what breaks it. Okay, good to know. So you see how the arrow's pointing the other way. We get it to force it over there. There we go. That's going that way. Let's replace you with the pass signal. Because it should be pass signals when things leave the line, right? Now, you're still not happy about that, but you are. You're not happy because he's not happy because that is facing in the wrong direction. You need to face that direction, and that cleans that guy up. That's got that guy, that's got that guy. Okay, everyone's back and being happy, and don't worry, be happy. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get some freight platforms in here. So this is going to be the steel ingots. So what I'm going to do here is I want to keep everything even. So I'm going to put a spacer. Get rid of this guy now. Grab another spacer. Put him there. Then we'll grab a freight platform. And throw you into there. Grab a train station. I would absolutely hate what I'm trying to do, but that's all right as long as my arrows are going in the right direction. A little hard to tell. There we go. Hit the old H. That locks it into place, so I can place it anyway. You can't tell me what to do, man. You're not my real dad. And then we bring the platform out. I'll clean that up in a minute. So what I should do is do this. And we can stretch this guy down to there. And down to there. And all the way down to there. And down to there. Wow, deja vu. Seems like I've heard that before. And down to there. There we go. All right. So that this can now be, what the hell am I calling this area? West DSRT for desert. So we go, this is now
West Desert. What am I bringing down here? I am bringing the steel ingot.
Let's get the capital where it's supposed to be. Ingot. Receiving. There we go. Okay, so that is now gonna be my steel ingots. You look unhappy. Why are you unhappy? You unhappy because you don't know where you're going. Need an exit line. Exit stage left. Literally, turn left here, please. There we go. These are some of the worst impressions you've heard, aren't they? And then you go to there. We get a signal. So we're gonna go there. And the reason I put a signal there is because, well, we're gonna have more train load into there. Like, ooh, Just again, my little particular OCD will not let me have the train not being on that line perfectly. All right, so there we go. Those signals are working well. Those are working well. Let's see what the block colors are doing. So someone's in this little section. You should not be able to leave. You're going to interfere, so we do have to give that. So the station has to be isolated. Because even if there's a train in the station, nothing can enter this block. It is completely isolated from everybody else until I put in that. And you can see how this is now clean. So even if there's a train in the station, trains can come in here. If someone happens to be here when he tries to leave, he will wait. Yeah, that is ass backward. You didn't texture in properly. There you go. So if I hit R, yeah, so that's going the right way. Oh, that actually, I like that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play a little bit here, just so I get used to it, so I don't make this. Oh, come on. Stop that. Why do you get stuck like that? Just finish animating in, you bastard. Thank you. The reason I'm putting them in is just so they're not hanging out over the edge, and we can just kind of keep things a little neater. Also getting used to something else to watch out for. Did you actually render in? Yay, you did. Okay, so that is that one. We're going to put another one in. This is going to be the rubber und Plastik. So again, we'll put in a empty platform temporarily. Let's drop that platform in. We can get rid of this platform. Put in a freight like so. Put in another freight. You see, it flips. I don't like you flipping. Don't flip. You're making me flip. Bring up our station. Would you just pop into place, please? Turn you around. There we go. Grab some track. Are you gonna finish rendering in? Thank you. And then we go to there. And then we can go to there. And then you are going to be, and yes, I can see that my power is becoming an issue. But I do have one more well still up there that I can start tapping into. I started looking at that. Might have to do that sooner than later. So Western Desert, plastic / rubber receiving. And there we go. Okay. All right. Now that those are in, I'm going to take a quick break here. Just going to have to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back. And we'll get some more of this station set up, built, and see if we can't start laying the foundations for our buildings. Be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I got my 3 stations in. I think I just need to put a few signals in. So again, we'll grab the old block signal here. Put you on the exit line. Just flip you around. There you go. So you're facing that way. I'm gonna flip you around again. So you're facing that way. G2 render in. Seriously, finish the freaking texture animation, please. And there we go. All right, do I have any more arrows on that matter? No and no. I need. I need a path signal over here, and I am gonna put it on the inside just for the shits and giggles of it. You don't like that, but I think one of the reasons that it doesn't like it, it does need a block signal right there. Please render in. No! Why? It's almost like if I hit the clear tool too soon. Here we go. And that makes sure everyone else. So you know what path to take. You know what path to take. You're not going to go that way because it's broken. But you can go that way. You do know to go that way. Everyone is happy. Everyone is satisfied. Let's make sure that we don't have this giant section here. Okay, so now this is where things get a little bit more. And why? See. No, I want you facing the other way. How do I get you to face this way? I think I do it by forcing in a brake. So I'll force a track brake right there. Grab my block signal. Now I can flip you to that side. There we go. So there's a section, there's a section. And once again, you didn't finish rendering in. Jeez! That is freaking irritating as all get out. Okay, so that has got my stations. Excellent, excellent, excellent. It is encased in foresting, but now we can go through here and we can start spreading some explosive love. You can have some, you have those, you can have some of these. Oh, and I am now out of explosives. How the hell did that happen? I've been blowing up a lot of things. Fortunately, I have a second source of boom boom. Ha 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 ha! Not quite as dramatic, not quite as quick, not quite a big explosive radius, but you know what? It'll get the job done. Especially farty plants. We can free the blister slug down there. We can get rid of these farty plants and just keep firing away. Oh, come. See, yeah, I'm gonna blow you up, blow you up, blow you guys. Did you just? Oh, you just will now. Okay, that's a new animation. So yeah, check it out. Watch. It just kind of it little limpies. Let's get Mr. Slug here.
Hi, Mr. Slug. Would you like to join my club?
All right, and boomsies. You need to be boomsies. More boomsies. Big bada boom. Big bada boom. Big bada boom. Boom today? Yes, boom today. No boom today? Maybe boom tomorrow. Some of the best lightings in that show of Babylon 5 went to Ivanova. Love that character. Right man of sarcasm, fatalism. Honestly, I think she played a Russian very well. Sure. Don't think I'm gonna need to worry about having them. You know what? I'm just gonna leave those guys just because this thing is a little bit tedious. All right, there we go. So stations are in. Yeah, okay, so we can start moving up in floors. Which means, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? Now I think I want to get some walls in. So we're going to go all the way up to there. And now I think we can switch back to 1 meter wall. Why would you guys make it so that that just sticks out? Like, is there a particular reason why you always have to be difficult in your models, gentlemen and ladies? I really don't want to go up by one more, do I? What's stopping me? Afraid I'm going to run out of concrete? Afraid I'm going to run out of space? I just have this constant need, it seems, to build in as small a space as possible. It's a little bit pathological. Okay, so we're going to get in our first subfloor here. Actually, what I should be using, I have a blueprint for this. I should be using it because it has more than just this. So let's get this out of here. I'm going to need to add a few more bits to the... No, I don't. Do I? Nah. We have nudge. All right, where are you? There is me subfloor hiding. Mr. Subfloor, show me your wares. I need to know where you are hiding. You know, that didn't rhyme at all. I thought I had a menu set up for these guys. Apparently I don't. That is that, that is that. Okay, well, let's go set up some... Let's go set up some flooring. What are you all doing over there? You're just beams. You're just those. You're just those. You're just those. You're just... Oh, there you go. That's a 2-lane road right there. Make a little heart symbol. I guess. What's convenient? It's not something I actually need to do that often. That is all road laying. Okay, we'll just go right here. Let's go to our blueprints. And they are building... I suppose I could just... Yeah, the light panel is out somewhere. Street foundations. Here we go. Well, let's put you on 1. Let's put you on 2 and put you on 3. And I should probably delete you because you're actually absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. That's a street. That's the one I want. Then we got an alleyway. That's the main service floor. Foundation wall cap, foundation alley, alley cross, outside street edge. Okay, those ones are just not good. Let's do some editing here. Hoisting is we're going to get rid of that. Yes. We are going to get rid of this one. We are going to get rid of this one. There we go. Of course, that means this is no longer active, so we will... There. Okay, that should do it. Apply changes. Thank you. So when I hit 2, I get one of these, and yeah, that's where I want to start. Okay, so we're going to drop you, or raise you. I'll raise you 2 million. Hey, big spender. Spend a little time with me. Yeah, that'll work. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to snap another one right along with you. Let's rotate you so you at least have a slightly different perspective on things. Yeah, we're going to go like that, and we're going to put you there. Because this is kind of, you know, a marker point here. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to grab Foundation Street. Yeah, and then we'll use the blueprint snap, because then you will snap nice like that. Snap nice like that. I'm going to go 2 streets down, because I think I'm going to keep everything nice and big here. So we're going to have Gigantor. Oh, I need to make a 5x5 version of you, don't I? You're only a 4x4. Oh, I need to do an update. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just do a quick update here. Okay, so yeah, the foundation bases are 5x5 because, well, I have a 5x5 blueprinter, but I have not updated the street spacing that goes in there. I don't know why I put you on the to-do list, probably because I missed. So what we need to do is we're going to put a blueprinter down there. Finish building. All the stuff goes into it. And now you're fully yes, there you are. Oh, nope, I need to, because you can't paste, load a 4x4 into one of these. You have to literally grab the blueprint. So if I go like this, go to a 4 foundation street, put you there, make sure you're... I don't know if it makes a difference, but I just like to make sure everything's always centered up and stuff like that. So we're going to come into there. Yep, you're all centered. Then we can run out of power. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we can grab a foundation here. Put one there and one to there. And we'll grab these guys. And ooh, I found one. I didn't know what it was when I was... So again, what I'm doing is I'm importing in, so you can see I've got EM rods. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I keep bringing in from other ones. I get an alternate. I haven't found the alternate recipe because mostly I don't have EM rods. But what I do have is this little post here. So I'm going to take this post, and I should be able to drop you right there. Also lower you down by 1. Which way looks better? You know what? Actually, I don't have to make that. It's a false dichotomy. So I put you to there. I'll show you why it's a false dichotomy in a moment. You go down to there. Because what I can do is grab that and put you underneath. Like that. Move you underneath like that. Stop going into the console, and there we go. So now we have our happy little supported streets. Okay, excellent. So this is, what did I call this originally? Foundation Street. So we're going to save this now as Foundation Street 5x2. Don't think I need any other thing for descriptor. Let's get a foundation icon. Foundation. I want the asphalt. The asphalt, however you want to pronounce it. That one right there. Und the directory I'm going to put you in is right in here. Please let me add blueprint. There you go. Say blueprint. Excellent. Lovely. Okay. Of course, I just kind of cluing in. I'm looking at here. Did I build everything way too tight still? Like for absolutely no reason, because at some point in time, oh, I do want to enclose all this. Nah, I'm gonna work with it. I'm gonna still enclose it and wall it in, but I'm gonna work with it. Gives me a chance to do something a little bit more kind of not so straight and easy. All right, where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? You are not there. You are not there. Nope, that's 5x5. Where did you go? Hello? Like, y'all are in the same menu, right? Under building. Oh, I put it in the wrong grouping. You need to be down here, man. That's why you weren't showing up, dude. So now when I go here, still can't figure out. There he is. All right. I got it. All right, let's snap our blueprinties. There we go. There's one. There's a 2. That is a 3 and 4. 5x5 foundation surface floor. You go there. You go there. All right. Let all that concrete filter through. Okay, so that is now gives me a floor for the first little bit of the building. Still haven't decided on how I want to do this. So I'm going to stall even longer. I'm going to grab a foundation street here. Let's just start filling this in. So I'm just going to get this all kind of laid out here. Okay, so having a look at the old planner here. I have for the copper, I need like 20 constructors. I need like 13 smelters just for the copper. I need a bunch. Okay, yeah, all right. I know what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give a nice wide base to the building. And I have completely drained my concrete. Well, apparently I should just take a trip back home. Let's take a trip back home. Let's get some concrete we can carry on our inventory. That'll give a chance for the dimensional depot to restock itself. And I can get some more cluster Noblix for ground clearing purposes. Yeah, that's it. Ground clearing. And up we go. Into the wild blue yonder. Up we go. Up and away. I have no idea these are the right words or melody, so I'm just making shit up as I go along. I am definitely going to have to get some proper supportage going on up here, because that just is very much magic floaty platform. Yeah, so just kind of, I think what I wanted down there is I'm going to use that as all of my future space elevator manufacturing. That area is kind of filled up. It surprisingly got filled up pretty quick. I mean, when I started utilizing in there, see how I went left? Started utilizing in there. It wasn't exactly super efficient with the space here, but I kind of like how that little cluster of buildings of the current ones are sitting. Why am I here? Why did I come back here? I came back here for Noblix. So we'll run down here into the explosive mall. Cluster Noblix. Cluster Noblix. Cluster Noblix. Anything I'm carrying that I don't need to be carrying? Yeah, one of them and that stuff. Don't need to be carrying that stuff anymore. So while I'm here, I might as well get rid of those. Why are you yellow? I see you. What's going on with you? Oh, you're turned off. That would explain it. Okay, moving on. Yep, just ignore everything that's going in there. Oh, we need to go visit the boys. Let's see, we got anything for over here? Yeah, these guys. I knew I was sticking my nose in there for a reason. Weird, my frame rate seems to be doing weird things here. I don't know if it's you notice it, but I am certainly noticing. It's almost like a little tiny bit of lag, which is a little surprising. But you know what? It's still fine. Where did I put that slug? There he is. Ooh, two of them. These are slugs, right? Yes, deposit slugs here. Ooh. Concrete. Let's grab some concrete here. Oh, did not mean to do that. I meant to do this. So I'm just going to load up in a couple of rows of concrete here. That usually buys me enough time. The depot to finish loading. Let's check in with the gang. Bob Dubba getting a Mac. Still waiting for Z. All right, how you doing, buddy? Oh, look at you at the... Oh, actually. Good boy, Doug. Very good boy. I can make some Mark III miners. What did you bring me? Oh, thank you, Mac. And what did you give me? Oh, that's still Mac. What did you give me? Oh, Bob. Oh, you good boy. Who's the good puppies? Who's the good doggos? Yes, you're the good doggos. Good job, you guys. All right, let's get out of here. All right, what else am I here for? I'm here to have a boo. Yeah, I might want to do a reunion. Yeah, so I am going to want to get this, which is where the radio control units. It's the only thing I'm missing for getting the drones. So I want to get drones up and running because there are some areas where I'm going to need to start shipping things that aren't, you know, train worthy. I do want to get the nuclear power unlocked, but need the supercomputers. And that'll, of course, give me my electromagnetic control rods as well as my magnetic field generators. Leading edge production is after that, but that means I need the fused modular frames, which are... Can I make those already? Yes, I can make the fused modular frames. So I'll need to do that as well. Particle enrichment will also, before I finish. Yeah, so these two pretty much have to go hand in hand because I will not store nuclear waste. This stuff, yeah, no nuclear waste for me. It gets converted into the plutonium waste, or the plutonium fuel rods, or I think it's these guys here. One step along the way anyway in here that they can be sunk, so I will be setting that up so no nuclear waste. Hey, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I've already got blueprints to do just that. Not reinventing the wheel here, guys. I am a little bit for some stuff, but for other stuff like the aluminum and whatnot, no. Okay, I can't take this anymore. What I'm going to try to do here is go back to the main menu. So I'm just going to do a quick game save. So this is episode 22 in this world. So we'll do a quick save. We're going to exit to main menu. And I'm going to try to reload in the world. And see how that is doing. And while that's doing that, I can take another sip of the old cough. Not coffee. I don't know why I said it. Cough. Oh, look at that. Already done. Smooth as silk. Perfect. Okay. Is that everything I needed? Nope. Did I throw everything I wanted into there? Let's have a quick look at the old inventory. Oh, I did pick up a new slug. Oh, that's because he gave it to me. So we're going to throw that over here. I do not need to be carrying that. I got these from, you know, either a drop site or one of the boys. For whatever reason, I'm carrying one of these, so I'll just, Oh no, did I just throw you into the feed system? Oh no. I double clicked on it and I think it threw it into the container, which means it's come out into... Oh, look at all the hamburger I've got. Power slugs are going on down here. Nope, that is my deuterium smelting. Power slugs. Oh, you're in here. All right. Yep, there it is. It is in here. I need to flush it out. There you are. Come back here. Okay. Now we can throw that belt back in. And we'll turn you into the blue powder slug. All right, that's got that all fixed up. Okay, where are we? We are heading back to the construction site. Now, gotta be careful, keep a watch here, make sure we flip it over. Yep, there we go. We got it flipped over, so I did hit E. Hey, wanna race? Oh, wow. See ya. I get speed boosts. You don't. And then we gotta go into this tunnel. Haven't really figured the off line yet, because I could keep this as a continuous line and just have the, because there's the little Y junctions, or not the actual straight splitter. Now, let me show you. We have these as well. That can split off, but you know what? I'd rather just come to a complete stop, run around the corner, and off I go. I was wondering why is there a train down and where my new section is? I'm not in the new section yet.
Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind.
Okay, up to the top we go. I'm not going to tell you who that is. If you can't figure it out, well, I would rather not you know how bad an imitation I did. It's just a stupid voice I did otherwise. Ha 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 ha. That makes no sense. I know it makes no sense, but I'm not trying to make any sense. I'm just trying to fill the damn air, man. All right. Okay, so that's going to be more than enough space for our footprint here. So let's actually mark this off as a complete block. So we're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. We're going to go down to the end here. Like that. We're going to go to the end here like that. We're going to grab a couple of sets of stairs here. Let's have these stairs go like that. And then we'll throw you around to that. Let's throw in another staircase right there. Okay, so this is our first block. So the question is do I want to do my supercomputers first? Or do I want to do the radio control unit? I need both of them at the same time. Let's have a look here. Again, I always feel like I'm flirting danger when I do this switch. All right, so these are later. So let's say we're going to call it this way. This is number 3. This is number 4. Then, of course, the next space elevator, like this guy here, will be number 5. The only reason I'm saying it's number 5 is because I've not built it up as much as I've built up this one here. So this is going to be number 4. He needs the EM rods. EM rods are not reliant on either one of these things. You cannot go anywhere until you do have your supercomputers. But recipes I need to unlock. I need both supercomputers and radio. Oh, what did drones. Oh, man. Means I got to go all the way back. To unlock the drones, what did I need? I needed the radio control units. Mind you, this is the one that needs the most machinery. This actually doesn't need, surprisingly, a lot of machinery here. I mean, like, at all. So I think, yeah, I'm going to do the supercomputer setup first. So it means all the basic ore processing on the lower floor here. Can I please move you? Can I move you? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back into the game here again. So I'm going to start off with the supercomputer line. Let me just make sure I can see what's going on in the modeler. There we go. And also be able to monitor all my... I got 3 monitors hooked up to this computer, and as I'm moving around my head, I realize I need more than that. I have a secondary computer, which I honestly should set up as my actual recording computer. It's just I have no idea how to do that, and I don't feel like spending a little bit of time right now with 2 monitors. So I essentially have 5 monitors between the 2 PCs. I could use some more. All right, so we're going to be building down here. I'm not going to use any kind of prefab wall or anything. But I think what I want to do here is build like a basic little lobby. Yeah. So let's get into over here because I have windows and stuff. We're going to use one of you. So we're going to go up. Now we're going to slide over a little bit. Because I have 10 here, and that doesn't have a center line, easy center line. So that's the center line between those. Let's put that in. Let's move you over to there. Let's stretch you across there. Let's go like that. Go like that. Go like that. And then we'll grab a door. Right in between these guys. There we go. So that's going to be my front lobby. Gonna go into my build menu here, because where would you be? Would you be an organization? No, you're under architecture. And by you, I mean something that I actually haven't bought tickets for yet. Really? Huh, okay. I want something here. Again, what I'm trying to do here is kind of keep it in the area that it is some sort of building and or skyscraper. Have I not unlocked staircases yet? Yeah. Those are all done, except for the Mark IIIs. Where are my stairs? Not those ones. Search, stair. Sorry, I just had a real nasty tickle. All right, where the hell are they? I'm looking for the stairwell. Like, it's literally been part of the game forever. They're generally kind of meh, but they fit on a 1x1 and I want to use them and I don't know where they are. Where have you gone? Why am I not seeing them? Am I losing my mind? Like, seriously, what the hell am I missing here? That's all that stuff. Architecture. Pardon me. There's something very, very strange going on here. Something very weird. I seem to have misplaced. Like, the things I haven't bought yet are literally because I don't like them. I'm not a big fan of these, by the way. Just so y'all know. Not that anyone actually, oh no, we must change them. Some unknown dude on YouTube said he doesn't like them. Yeah, I'm just a little bit confused. Like, beyond confused. Where are the basic stairs? Like, seriously. They're completely missing. Or I'm completely blind. Okay, you know what? Enough of this. Off to the Google. I go, so satisfactory stairs or staircase. Yeah, see, there they are. Why are they telling me they removed them? Okay, so I found a Reddit post here. Why were the old stairs removed? I was looking all over for them in the Austin shop because I like being able to have a whole staircase up in no time, and now they're just gone. Oh my goodness. Well, a lot of people, I hated them, so I'm glad they're gone. Well, you know what? You didn't have to use them. Some of us actually like using them. I mean, they weren't my favorite, but they were functional. Okay, well, that's not good. Let's check what happened to the old stairs. I never even noticed they were gone. Maybe a later unlock. Well, I hated almost everything about those stairs. I'd be disappointed to see content removed, and they have admittedly been handy once or twice. Some of these people's posts really, I just, well, you know, I didn't like them, so everyone has to not, no one has to use them. Good Lord. No, so yeah, it looks like they got removed. Well, it just is a pain in the ass. No. I don't like that. I don't like that they've been taken out. Okay, well, I guess gonna have to do something different then. Okay, well, that being the case, let's go grab some catwalk stuff here. So I'm gonna need to put my catwalk stairs. We'll put those on 4. Need me pillar. We'll do the small concrete. We'll put on 5. And then in my transportation, we'll put you on 7. Also should have a power line here. We'll put you the power line. I guess I'll just throw that on 9 for now. All right, that was an awful lot of time wasted to find out that these guys have screwed me over a little bit. Not happy with that. Not at all. Okay, what else do I need? I also think I want to grab my concrete wall. Basic wall. We'll put that in between those. I didn't mean to. Okay, let's go grab back to transport and grab that space elevator, or the space elevator, the personal elevator again. There we go. Yeah, I like being able to, you know, the old staircases were, yeah, they weren't the best. But they did their job. And there were some instances where that was the best thing for the job. Now I am left with not as great an option. Because these guys take up quite a bit of space. Can I still keep them within a single? No, no. See, it's impossible to keep these guys within a 1x1 space. And that's what I liked about those old ones, was a lovely little 1x1 space. I'll grab a catwalk corner. Catwalk corner. And it was a hell of a lot quicker than this. So you can see here now immediately it's gonna spread out over here. It requires a 2 block. Which, definitely not happy. No, I think that was a very much, I hope it's a temporary. But, I mean, it's not like I'm literally building the staircase because, you know, I need a backup stair. I just don't like the fact that they're forcing me all the way up to here. All right, we're gonna have a floor and floor. See, it takes 1.5. It'd be so much. It's so much nicer when it's all within 1. Why is Zoop turned off? All right, so there's a staircase going up. And we're going to throw an elevator in there, which will then go up to this landing. Which will then also go up to a higher landing, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Okay, so then that goes up to here. I actually should not do that. What I should do is grab one of you and then just kind of wherever you need to feel like you need to be. Do some nudging. Apparently you do not like being... let's see, if we go to there, that's not quite where I want to be. I want to be right up against the elevator shaft, right there, yes. So we can put one there, one there, one here, and then I'm lost. Where am I? There we go. Oh, oops. That needs to go there. That. Okay, all I'll do is that. Then I'm gonna take this out for now, because I'm gonna do this. There we go. So there's our second floor. Delete this guy here and the one right above him, and I'm gonna have to move this light, which is fine. I'll just take this light here and put you there, put you there, put you there. There we go. Gotta have lots of light. There we go. Okay, that's good. All right, let's grab our elevator shaft again. And go all the way to this top floor for now. Here we go. Put a new floor in. Ah! Right there. Pardon me, that was really gross. Why have I got a vitamin inhaler on my to-do list? No, you can go away, please, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right, so there we go. So this becomes a service floor for the next floor. This becomes a production floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got a staircase right here. I want to keep the staircase isolated, which means I'm going to continue the staircase going up to the top floor. But for now, we're going to put that there. Gonna grab. So I should turn my flashlight on, or headlight on. Okay, let's grab doors. I need to add that, I think, to my build bar here. We'll put you on 8, sure. So that, actually, we'll do, no, see, that's a, I want my old staircases back, man. This is just, no, this is not, no. You took away something. I don't like being denied an option. Just because a bunch of other people are a bunch of poopy heads and don't like a thing does not mean that you have to take it away for all of us. That's just not right. Yeah, you gave us concrete stairs, but you didn't give us a nice, tight, compact way of moving staircases up and down, which is something we really need to have more of. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep things... I want things nice and neat. May not have super great architectural skills, but I still want to keep things neat and tidy. This here. So this is going to come out to a floor here. Yeah, so that can come up to here. Then we're going to have the staircase going back upstairs. That. It's almost like I'm trying to put off actually building the rest of the factory, isn't it? Okay, yeah, that's fine. And then you need a wall back here. And we'll bring you up to there. We'll do the same thing. Now, I am not obviously building the central... I could. Yeah, that's what, okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this as a... all the way top to bottom. So like a central... utility column here. That light's in the wrong place. Which way are you pointing? You're pointing this way. That really missed me with all the freaking beautiful updates. I'm sorry, I'm gonna rant about this for a little bit. With all the really great kind of new quality of life things that they've brought in, especially in 1.1 and you know, version 1 and all of that kind of stuff. Why would you take something away? Like, clearly people are using them. I mean, just check your freaking own, like, I found how many, at least 50% of the notes I managed to find on Reddit were people going, I love these stairs, I like using these stairs, they're not great, but they sometimes serve an important function, blah, blah, blah. And then just have them arbitrarily removed. And kind of the gall of some people say, well, they sucked anyway, so, you know, suffer. No, that's kind of defeats the whole freaking purpose of this game, is that we're all supposed to be able to play it the way we want to play it. Yeah, this bugs me. It really does kind of bug me a little bit. I'm gonna tell you, it does. All right, so this is gonna be the kind of a central pass through. I don't know what you want to call it, conduit, shaft. That's it. It's a shaft, and kind of keeps things hidden. We're gonna continue to have our elevator shaft here. I'm gonna leave the elevator shaft enclosed, like a good elevator is. Where is the wall way down here? Where is that wall? It is right here. So we'll take these guys up to the top. Like that. Elevator shaft will continue up from here. So that goes to the next floor up there. That'll eventually be up there. Elevator to nowhere. I'm gonna leave the front open, so at least there's some view in there. Not back here. But in kind of the, you know, showroom areas, I do actually need to keep you open. I am gonna keep you open. Because the door's there. All right, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Grab one of these gates right there. I guess I don't need the ones with the railings, so we'll just use these guys. Those go there. You're going up. You're going up. You're coming from up. It's getting dark. There it goes down to there. I do want to keep all of this kind of isolated here, so we're gonna make sure we have Zoop turned on. Like that. So what I'm kind of focused on today, in case you haven't figured out yet, is just getting everything kind of figured out for the rest of the kind of before I start dropping in machines and stuff. I just want to have kind of a clear idea where everything's going to be. Probably need some lights in here. I know where I can find some. So we're going to drop down here. So yeah, I just want to kind of get the buildings and stuff into place. Before I start dropping in. Why do you, how did you? Yeah, we'll just put you right there. No, 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 no. That is not authorized. You need to be. And hold your. There you go. That's what I want. Are you going to turn into a light? Yes, thank you. Okay, let's get down the stairs. Let's get another one in right here. Actually, I probably should just put it in the ceiling. And down to here. Yeah, I can live. Do I want to live with just kind of having this going into the service floor? Yeah, but anyone can then just walk into this floor here. So we are going to properly do this, I think. Like that. Our flashlight, our stairs. Grab a portrait sign again. And put that there. So we go down to here. I'm going to replace these. Yeah, I mean, it just fundamentally changes so much of what I want to build here and how I want to build it. And I just, again, I don't like it that someone made an arbitrary decision that deprives me of building the way I want to build. You know what I mean, Vern? Oh, that's kind of interesting. And we can come in here. We can go straight up the... Nope, can't go straight up the stairs. Why am I getting hung up? I'm getting hung up because the stairs and the doors do not cooperate that way. Okie dokie. I do not have any way of getting back down into the train platform. But you know what? That's okay. I will put something in here. Some other place. Because I got, well, obviously train stations. Okay, so we can come in here. Either hide underneath the stairs, that's fine. We can go that way. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's not something that, it's not what I wanted. It's very much not what I wanted to set up here. I wanted something very different. I had it in my brain. What is going on here? One of these things is not like the others. One of these things isn't quite the same. If one of these things is not like the others. Missing some wall sections here. I don't really want people looking into my ugly service floor, but... Okay, how many freaking times am I going to sample this light without placing it? That is the question. Let's focus on just getting this light installed. Put that one there. Put another one there. That one's got one. That's a full landing. That doesn't need to be enclosed. Then we can go up this way. I'm going to do different for you. We are going to put that there. Then we can grab you. Put you there. Like that. Okay, so that is then going to be the next service floor, and then I can worry about that at a later date. But right now, I have this service floor with the start of the front of the building. Yay! No lights whatsoever in here. I want to get some lights in here. So I have a blueprint for that. Turn that off. So we don't want to be in blueprint mode. No. No, 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 no. Hit the wrong button. Okay, so let's get some lights down here. Cancel the jetpack. So we're gonna have right there. Skip one, and you're between two, right? Yeah, you are. So right there. Skip one. Yep. And we'll go right there. We'll scooch across. Maybe I'll get a line. Yes, I have an indicator line. We'll keep coming down to the bottom. We'll go down to the next one, and then we'll put another one right there, and then we'll come all the way across here. And we'll put another one right there. And then we're squeezed right into the freaking corner here. So that didn't work out evenly. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove and remove. So we'll come at it from over here. Just use the blueprint mode. Pardon me. And there. There. Move the little blueprinty bit, and we go there. And how much space have I got in between? I got one. So if I go one there, is it equidistant if I go? I didn't line you guys up. Okay, good to know. If I put you there. Actually, you know what? I think 3 is would provide me with enough light. Okay, so it's 2.5 to that row, and it is 1, 2.5 to that row. Okay, so that's the center line. There we go. Okay. So that can go there. You, my good friend, are in the wrong location, but we can bring you to the correct location. Everybody. All right. Why does that feel weird? Gap, gap, gap. Yeah, okay. We have single gap. That will be on the center line, I think. Yeah, that's the center of the building. I should update the blueprint so that there are proper lights under these floors. So, in the list of things to do, plop, adjust the blueprint so that this floor also has lights ready to go. The underfloor does, or the logistics floor, but not the main floor for some reason. Which is a rather silly thing of me to do. Okay, I'm gonna change this one around a little bit just because it's the lobby. Center line is right there, so I'm gonna put that one there, and then we can come back and get the right ones in. So one there. And one there. Okay, that's gonna be Mr. Unique floor, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Oh no, this is kind of the main floor here. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go fix this up right away whilst I'm thinking of it. So we'll clear. We'll load up the blueprint. This one I can actually load in because reasons. There we go. Load our service floor in. Oh, that's why I never got lights underneath. Okay, well, I'll have to do this slightly differently. I can't do it that way. So what I'm gonna have to do is get my 5x5. Let's lift you by, I suppose I should count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 meters. That will give me the height of a wall. And I can grab this. Billable and a designer cannot be connected to world boundaries. That's because it's a blueprint, so I will have to do it the old-fashioned way. Grab a small billboard. We'll put... Yes, we'll just actually go right here. Yeah, put one there. Get far enough away so I can do something with you. There we go. We'll set our colors to Pioneer Coverall, Pioneer Coverall, and Pioneer Coverall. We'll lose the icon. The hell are you? Don't know. Don't really need to clear the text, but I'll clear the text. We'll set you to a nice glow, and there you are. Providing all kinds of light. Grab you. Put you in the center of this one. And then in the center of one in, yeah. Actually, I should have you guys for more even spacing like that, but that's fine. I'm gonna put you. Don't know if you're lined up quite right. Yes, you are. And then finally, we need one more right here. And that would be the, yeah. You know what? I think that should do fine. I think that should be fine. Okay, so this is... No idea. What am I calling it? It is... Foundation Service Floor 5x5. Foundation Service Floor 5x5. So, Foundation Service Floor 5x5 lighted. Okay, lit. You know what? Just L. We'll just go L on the end there. Foundation. Foundation. We'll use for the icon-y. For the iconon. I guess. There's the one button. I guess I'll use you. We'll set your directory to building. Street foundations. No, don't hit edit. Just set it there, close that, and save blueprint. And there we go. So now, I'm going to actually remove these. So we'll get rid of that one. We'll get rid of this one. Get rid of you. And you. We'll have to remove the elevator. And then get rid of all these little floaty bastards. Yeah. I'll have to fix some of the other ones, but that's fine. That's fine. Again, this is the time to kind of get this stuff worked out so that the rest of it can just be boom, 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 boom. All right. Central shaft. So there's our logistics shaft. Okay. All right, let's go grab our foundation. That's this one. I have to manually line this guy up, I think. Yep. Oh, yep. Big time. Is that the right height? No, let's have a look in the staircase here. Yes. Yes, you are. But you don't feel like you're in the right place. No, you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's on the center line now. So I need you. Oh, I missed a sign. Get rid of that. You can now select this foundation grouping. Go back to blueprint mode here to see if I can't snap it into place. Yep. Ooh, yep. There we go. And then one of you there, and one of you there. And there we go. So now we have some lighting underneath here on the service floor as well as down here. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, let's get the elevator shaft back in again. I'm gonna leave that alone for the moment. You're gonna go to there. just run all the way up to... Ooh. This is in the way. God, sensitive little bastards, aren't they? Okay, they're gonna go up to this floor here, which at the moment doesn't exist, but that's okay. Because we can now add a floor here. And add another floor here. And that's good for... I went into the console again. And then I don't really want to... no, we're going to leave the lobby open, I think. So we'll just leave that alone for now. That's all got lights. You all got lights. Everybody's got lights. Not quite enough lights. But it's easy to fix the missing lights. Easier if you're standing on the ground. Turn that back on so I can see what I'm doing. We'll put one there. Well, I guess I should have gone this way. We'll put one there. What the hell? That's weird. None of them quite line up right, do they? Oops. I may have to go do some adjustment there. These should actually be evenly spaced between them, and the fact that they're not means I screwed up somewhere in the blueprint. So that is another thing I will have to go down there and fix, but not right now. Okay, so I think I got the start of something here. I should be able to fit at least a good swack of the copper smelters down here. Yeah, I think I'm going quite high. We're gonna grab some concrete pillars here, so kind of idea of what we're gonna use. I like the kind of having these in corners. So we'll put something in that corner. We'll go over here. That can go in that corner. I'm going to try to stay out of the production floor with these ones. So we'll skip there. Like that, and then right in the middle here. No, we won't. We'll go here. And here. And then we'll, you know, put stuff where it needs to be. So if I erase these guys down here, so this will be the hex building. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put a row of these, and then I'm going to put a row of these, and then I'm going to put a row of these. We'll have that there, and then I'm going to grab different windows. Yeah. Yes, right there. All right, let's set her down, get these things out of my hands so I can see what I'm doing. Go to photo mode. How does that look? At least for the supercomputer building. Oh, photo mode off, please. I want to just add I suppose I could use the zoop for that. I just want to get that little beam or thin wall across there. Saw some normal fighting. Oh, I think I'm gonna like this. And then we'll repeat the same floor for the next one. Like that, and then we grab that again, which go all the way down to the end, and all the way down to the end. Grab that, all the way down to the end. Grab the little guy, drop it down by one because we can do vertical zooping, and that goes to there, and that's where the floor. Yeah, I think that's going to be the first building anyway. And that gives us a solid idea of what we're going to do. I think I am going to call it for today, though. Because I'm going to pretty much be able to get right into getting the machinery done. I am going to go do... I think I want to, now that I'm kind of over here, in the next week. Ooh, ironically... Pure Caterium right there. It's weird that that's still there. So there is, I mean, I'm over here. It's ironic. I mean, yeah, I know. It's almost wasteful, to be quite honest, the fact that I'm shipping stuff in when literally I'm surrounded by stuff. I should get a radar tower down here somewhere. But, yeah. So I'm going to go look for some hard drives, see what else I can pick up here. I want to get some more alternate recipes. I do kind of have to be careful with that. Oh, look at that. You can see the pretty... Here's the other factory. Squirrel! Because, I want some alternate recipes like the alternate for the electromagnetic rods, which... I need to have unlocked first, so yeah, I'm not going to do a bunch more, but I do want to get a little bit. I kind of like that contrasting light on these pillars here. It's that nice kind of blue with the warms, the cold blue with that nice warm. It's a nice bit of contrast. Pardon me. But yeah. So that's kind of where we're going to start. This is the next big project. We're going to get at least, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe we'll see how many we get. They'll be as tall as they need to be until I get to the top floor. That's kind of why I wanted this central shaft over here. I have to get power, obviously, into the system. But most of the power is going to run up the elevator shaft. I just need to bring it up to the elevator shaft. Unfortunately, I can't bring the elevators down this way, so I'll have to do it otherwise sneakily. What I'll probably end up doing is dropping an elevator in somewhere just outside. I do have to figure out how I'm going to get the trains here so they look like they're going into a building. I'm going to do a little bit of playing around with that. So I'm going to play a little bit with some architecture out here. Obviously, I'm not going to leave this there. But I think that honestly is about, yeah, this is kind of a good break. It's a lot of repetitive stuff going up there, but I still kind of want to get a better solid idea, do some corrections on the blueprint here, make sure lights are going in the right place, because obviously I got some spacing that's messed up. But that is going to do it for today. Hey guys, once again, thank you for stopping by and even watching a little bit of this nonsense that I'm throwing out there at y'all. And let me go back there. As always, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe, click on the notifications, do all the things and all the YouTube-y stuffs. I really, really appreciate it. Please leave comments. Let me know. Talk to me, man. Tell me the things that you like. If you have suggestions, you know what? Tell me how you feel about the missing staircase. You know, I wasn't a huge fan of them. I didn't use them often, but I used them at least once or twice because there are just certain situations where they are the best solution. Kind of what I'm doing here is one of them because they fit neatly within a 1x1. Like the 1x1 space that you could fit them in. Sorry, I know I'm in the middle of a exit. But if you have a 1x1 space like this, you can have your staircase going up inside of that. There's no railings on it, so you know you run the risk of falling. But you know what there was room for, and that fit perfectly, is one of these right in between. And you have a perfect spiraling staircase going all the way to the top of your building. Can it be better? Oh, absolutely. 100% it can be designed better. Can it be just removed? No, I think that's taking away something that serves a purpose. And if it serves a purpose, even partially, why remove it? But we've got to start on that. So once again, folks, again, later today, the next chapter of The Lost Colony and Space Engineers will be coming out. And then next week, we will start getting some supercomputers. We'll try and see if we can get that supercomputer, or at least most of the supercomputer factory, finish up for next week. That is the kind of plan. We'll have our first of these kind of skyscraper buildings in, and we'll go from there. But until then, everyone, have yourselves a great day. Be safe, be good, and bye-bye.